we get to the point where at a certain age, you recognize that we have parents, we have grandparents, or even perhaps as we get closer to that age of retirement, we start really thinking about what's beyond the retirement and how are we going to take care of ourselves, especially if there are situations where you have family members who are outside of the area. What do you do when you get to that point where you need help with some of the what are called activities of daily living, or even further where there's regular kind of assistance from a medical standpoint or a memory standpoint? What do? We're here to talk about some of those things and options you have from Summerhill Villa. Here with us, Sales and Marketing Director Megan. Good morning.
Good morning.
So this is something, and of course, I'm at that age where we have to start thinking about that, not necessarily for myself yet, although I have to start thinking, what am I going to do in 20, 30 years or something like that? But we also, as we have elderly parents or other relatives or even friends who are kind of frantically wondering what their parents are going to do, I want to talk a little bit about, the difference between going to a place where it's a 55 and older and then a place like Summerhill Villa, which actually offers, but it's a very assisted living, but still with an emphasis on activity. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I've actually worked in both. I started out my career in senior living working in a 55 and over. And I was an activities director for a long time, and that's where I fell in love with the senior living, community and business. And so I was there for a long time, and I was able to see some of those folks transition into where they needed assistance with their activities of daily living. And so sometimes it was very sad because, their children would let it get to the point where something would happen, a fall would take place, or someone would maybe not remember where they were so much anymore. And we really do encourage people, especially at Summerhill Villa, we encourage people not to wait until, it's a dire situation to start investigating senior living, to start investigating assisted living. It really doesn't have to get to that point. We have so many active residents there. And they're amazing people. And, if they are suffering from memory loss, I can tell you so many stories, so many good stories about people who live there and what an amazing community it is.
When we talk about, from an assisted living standpoint, we're talking about a place that has everything right where it needs to be. So you've got living quarters, and I from your website, you have a variety of different types, anything from studios and even shared type situations to 2-bedroom apartments. And also, though, meals and everything else, and like we said, activities for daily living, and especially memory care, which is really important as we get older, because as that's becoming more diagnosed with Alzheimer's or senior dementia, to make sure that not only are they're still being treated in a way that is hopefully prolonging the elasticity of their memory, but making sure that it's a safe environment as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, Summerhill Villa has been here for 15 years. So we're really established in the community. We really do, have 24 hours a day care. We have an amazing staff. They are some of the most genuine, most patient, most amazing individuals I have ever had the privilege of working with. And they truly love seniors. And that's really hard to find. After having been in this business for as long as I have, I've really seen the gamut of assisted living communities, and Summerhill Villa is my favorite that I have ever worked in.
We were talking off the air. My father-in-law, before he passed away a few years ago, we started looking into assisted living because he had gotten to that point when he had been in and out of the hospital, and we knew that there needed to be something more long-term because his wife, who was still very active, it was going to be way too much. And you're right about the gamut of treatments or of assisted living facilities, because we visited a lot of them, and some are like really scary. Some are like right out of the 60 Minutes, the ones where like the investigative reports going on, and you're like, wow. And then, where they just kind of let them roam around and they have other places. But having stopped by Summerhill Villa and taken a look and seeing what you guys have there, the facilities were absolutely, it was a place that, had we moved forward, it would have been one of our top choices because of the fact that not only was it a secure facility in the sense that, there's not a lot of opportunities, especially in memory care, where you might have, people wandering off. I know that you've got that separate and secure, but also just all the amenities that you have for people I thought was important. And also being able to accommodate my mother-in-law, who's still very, very active. You kind of have that juxtaposition I thought was very, very fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, we still have people who drive, we have a lot of couples there, one who may need more assistance than the other. But we have, we're able to help with independent lifestyles as well as assisted living. And our memory care is in a separate building. And it's just darling. It really is. Because we're so established, we have those big oak trees. We have a park-like setting. We're able to accommodate pets. Our activities department, we take trips and tours all the time. It's really quite amazing.
So tell me, how soon should people start maybe looking into, you shouldn't necessarily wait until right when you think you need it, right? You should really plan ahead. Am I correct in assuming that?
Absolutely. And my advice, as a daughter of two seniors is, trust your gut. If you're watching mom put away the dishes and you notice that she's having some real mobility issues, if you notice that maybe, dad isn't remembering nearly as much anymore, make sure that you're looking into assisted living, at least, for yourself. Because it really doesn't have to be a dire situation. It can be a lot of fun. You can come and have lunch. You can attend any of our events throughout the community. It doesn't have to be one of those situations that everybody dreads. It's not a nursing home. It's an amazing enhanced lifestyle. It's a quality of life that everybody wants.
That is very true. And when I saw, everybody seemed to be very, very happy there, and a lot of social interaction as well, which is really super important still at that age. The website, is it mbkseniorliving.com?
That's right. And to make it just easy, go to Google and enter in Summerhill Villa, Santa Clarita, and it'll take you right to us.
That's what I did as we were talking. Outstanding. Megan, thank you so much for stopping by Summerhill Villa, which is an opportunity for your parents, grandparents, anyone who is in need of some sort of assisted living setup that is still dynamic and socially interactive and very active, is a place they're located on Lyons Avenue. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.